Welcome back to the Pump Sake Sports Show. We're going to be up here on a Friday, so welcome to the Friday football show with me and Aidan. And before we get into our Jets 1-7 mock draft, another New York sports team, the one on your head there, has been making some big moves lately. We're going to be a little bit late on, we're not breaking any news here, just to have some thoughts on it in the video quick before we get started. So Kenny Golladay, 4 years, 72 million. Is that right?
Yeah. That's
4 years, 72 million. And Adoree Jackson is visiting tonight. Well, tonight, like not the time when this is going up.
We're recording on Sunday.
We're recording on the Sunday before this Friday video. Adoree Jackson is also visiting. So what are your thoughts about what your New York Giants have been doing lately?
Yeah, I'm going to try and keep it really brief here because I could probably talk about this forever.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I've been a Giants fan for a long time. It has not been good to be a Giants fan for a long time. But this is just exciting. Like, it seems like we're really turning things around here. I'm not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl next year. I'm realistic, but like before it was just like there was nothing to be excited about. No one really wanted to play for this team. We had like just a bunch of like guys that would like get in locker room disputes and like, get team suspensions and it was just all around bad. And now we're having guys like recruit other players to come, to the Giants, like Jabril Peppers and Darnay Holmes and Logan Ryan are like all, adding Adoree Jackson on Twitter to come play. You got Kenny Golladay, who was willing to stay in town in New York for 3 straight days just to get a deal done with us. It's nice that people want to come play here, and getting a big play receiver like Kenny Golladay is super exciting. We obviously haven't had anything close to that since Odell was here.
Odell who?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is that the other thing about Kenny Golladay is that he's obviously like a big, taller receiver, which we haven't had since like Plaxico Burress. So yeah, it's exciting. The one thing that I did want to say is we were about to talk about it beforehand. You mentioned his contract. It doesn't really matter how much he was paid, and I totally agree with that. And there's a specific reason for that, but I just wanted to say, like, I do see some people saying he's overpaid or like, they paid too much. I don't really get where that's coming from because before free agency started, he was projected to get like 21 million a year, and then there was all these reports coming out like, oh, he's only going to be asking for like 14 or 15. And I think that lowered people's expectations, but like he was always going to get more than that. So like, I think this, if anything, this is a value. The other thing you said is, it doesn't really matter because I was thinking about this, like once you get a certain level of receiver, like the actual production that they create is going to go up. Like if like the difference between like DeAndre Hopkins and like, I don't know, maybe like I'm trying to think of an example. Keenan Allen might be significant in terms of like the production you can get if they were in the same offense, but like the effect they create like on the entire team is virtually the same because like you have to just look out for that guy. And that's really what is exciting about Kenny Golladay coming here is he just elevates everyone else on the team by being that big downfield threat that we just haven't had. So like that is really a big thing that we're paying for here. It's not just like Kenny Galladay's single production, but everything he brings to the team. So yeah, rant over here. I'm just really excited to be a Giants fan for the first time in a long time. And I don't want to say we're winning the Super Bowl, but we're winning the Super Bowl. So let's go.
I'm happy for you, man. It's pretty cool. And I saw some stuff on Twitter that was talking about like, they're bringing him in for multiple days to see if he's a culture fit. And I saw people saying culture fit. Like we don't have a fucking culture. We've lost so many games. We're like, I saw the record over the last 3 years. It was really bad.
Okay, 15-33.
And that's what it was, 15-33. And so, just to bring in a guy that changes the culture, like you said, elevates everything around him. And I'm happy that he went to the Giants and not a team that I dislike. So that was really awesome. But for the other New York team, they have a lot of other questions to answer as well.
They certainly do.
They brought in a receiver of their own in Corey Davis in this offseason, and they've made some big moves in free agency. But they have the biggest question of all to answer, which is who's going to play quarterback for this team in 2021/2.
Yeah.
And, that's a huge question because, as you can see here, Trevor Lawrence went first overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now they sit here with the second overall pick. Now, some people, myself included, think Zach Wilson is the pick here. But there's definitely also an argument that Justin Fields should be the pick here. Um, that's not something I believe, but all I'm saying is that it's a very quarterback. There's 5 guys going to go in the first round this year, so they have their pick of the crop outside of the top guy. Personally, I would go with Zach Wilson here, but I'm curious to know what you think about the quarterbacks.
Yeah, so I do have kind of, I guess, a hot take about this quarterback class. But first of all, I just want to say, I think we don't really have to talk about it too much, but the idea of keeping Sam Darnold is not going to be in our,
No.
even in our stratosphere here, just because, I don't know. I get in theory the idea of wanting to build up the team around a quarterback and not having, if you trade down, you can get a lot more assets, and the Jets need those assets. But at the end of the day, it just is what we think about Sam Darnold. I don't believe in him one bit. He's shown nothing but bottom 3 quarterback play his entire career. So he's shown nothing, it's not like a situation with I don't know, maybe like an example is like Daniel Jones or something like that. Or like even Drew Lock, where it's he had stretches of play where, you might want to, hold on to him and see, Drew Lock to a lesser degree, but you see my point where it's like Sam Darnold, he has flash plays, but he sustained bad play season over season for 3 seasons. So that's not an option for me.
Why stick with mediocrity at Sam Darnold's position? Like, why not shoot for getting yourself a star caliber player for the next 15 years? This is the second overall pick we're talking about here. This is a franchise changing selection.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is you have to pay Sam Darnold a real quarterback contract soon because his contract is going to be up. So it just is not even an option to me. So
and now's the time when you can still get an asset for him. Trade him for a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick to a team.
Because if you're thinking he might have something left, some other team is also thinking that. So just take advantage of that now. Get out while you still can.
Before you don't stick with him.
Option.
Yeah, before you decide not to stick with him and his value just diminishes. He has value right now in a bubble of just being a starting NFL quarterback for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Sell him now and get your actual quarterback something to put around him. So yeah, you're right. Like you said, we should have probably started with that. Sam Darnold is not on the horizon of this team. So
yeah. So with that being said, I kind of have a bit of a hot take. I need to look over the film of these guys again before I finalize my rankings. But right now, Trey Lance is my number 2 quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence. But with that being said, it is not the selection I would make to the Jets because they just don't have the infrastructure to support Trey Lance. The reason why he's my number 2 is because I think he has arguably the highest upside, but at least the second highest upside besides Trevor Lawrence because of his physical traits. And that's what I'm banking on. But the thing is, you need a good, support system to bring out those physical traits and make them matter and to contribute to winning games in the NFL. And the Jets don't have that. But the thing that's appealing about Zach Wilson is that he was already, the level of competition he played against was also bad, but he was already in a situation where he had to carry a team. And the way that he did it was very NFL-like, the throws he made, the way that he played. So to me, that's why I think Zach Wilson is the best pick for the Jets right now, despite the fact that currently I like Trey Lance better in a vacuum.
Yeah, so it's interesting you say that because Trey Lance is my QB3 of these 5, above Justin Fields. Zach Wilson is my 2. So very quickly, if we just want to, for the people watching, quarterbacks are the most exciting thing in the game anyway. So my rankings go Lawrence, Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and then Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And yours, I assume, go
Wilson. Mine would be Lawrence number 1, Lance 2, Fields 3, Wilson 4, Mac Jones number 5.
So then let me ask you this: why not, in your rankings, why not take Fields over Zach Wilson for the Jets?
It's the same reason why I'm not taking Trey Lance over Zach Wilson for the Jets. It's because Zach Wilson, to me, is ready to go. If the Jets are trading Sam Darnold, they're starting the rookie quarterback that they pick at 2, which I think is reasonable. Because to me, it's like people look at me having Zach Wilson at 4, and they're like, "Oh, you must hate Zach Wilson." It's not true. I like all of the top 4 guys a lot. They're all pretty close to me. The reason why I have them ranked like that is based on where I think they can get in the right scenario, right? But I love Zach Wilson still. So I'm saying I like Trey Lance a little bit more than Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, but I don't think that the reasons why I like him more are going to come to fruition if he goes to the Jets. So if that's the case, if I'm the Jets, if I like am the GM of the Jets, Zach Wilson might even just be straight up higher on my board because of where my team is at and where I'm going to have to play him.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my thought process there. Zach Wilson, I think, has a lot higher floor. That's kind of like the short way of saying what I'm saying here. But, obviously when you say that kind of thing, people are going to think it's just like a hot take. But
no, I hear what you're saying.
I kind of have to defend it. But yeah, that's my point is I think Zach Wilson has a better chance of succeeding here.
So let's take Zach Wilson then, because he is my number 2 quarterback. And as you said, all of those reasons for him as well. So we can both agree that Zach Wilson at a BYU is the right pick here for the Jets.
Yeah.
So the board starts to move here. Jamar Chase to the Dolphins, Penny Sewell to the Falcons. Trey Lance goes to the Eagles.
Wow, Azeez Ojulari to
the Giants. Yep. Devonta Smith goes to the Patriots again. That's happened in our last mock.
Wow. Najee to the Finns there.
Yep.
Pick.
So we're picking again at 23. Let's just quickly, as we did in our Jaguars video, go back and look at some of the results here from the first round. So JOK goes to the Raiders. A lot of tackles went off the board here early on. Justin Fields goes to the 49ers. That's a good selection.
Wow, that's a great pick. Yeah. Oh, I'd be so excited if I was a 49ers fan and that happened. Lance to the Eagles. They get another North Dakota State quarterback after Carson Wentz.
I mean,
how the fans would feel about that. It just
shows, right? Like, as we're talking about these top 4 guys, I think we can both agree on with quarterbacks, it's 4 and then a gap, and then there's Mac Jones.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I like Mac Jones. We'll probably talk about this in a video where we actually take Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones. I kind of go up and down on him. It's just like, to me, like, I don't want to get hung up on the idea of a ceiling, right? Because I know that's kind of, in a vacuum, a ceiling doesn't really matter because you can just always have some guy like a huge outlier like Tom Brady who would have appeared to have 0 ceiling and just have like the greatest ceiling literally possible. But yeah, I just kind of go back and forth. We'll talk about him a little more in a video where we take him.
Where we actually select him, yeah.
But yeah, that's just my kind of thoughts on the gap between the big 4 and then Mac Jones. But as far this is crazy because obviously we're looking at the top of the board and the pick is obvious here, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So
Kyle Pitts is just looking both of us right in the eyes and getting us excited for giving Zach Wilson a weapon that he will have for his entire career.
So let's say this, right? Let's say instead of saying, just because Kyle Pitts is going to be long gone by the 23rd pick in the draft. Let's say we traded Sam Darnold to like the Panthers to trade up and get Kyle Pitts, just for the sake of
sake of just reality, because Kyle Pitts will not be here. But we can't do a proper mock draft video without taking the best guy on the board available. So let's say that happens in a Darnold trade. We somehow acquire Kyle Pitts from Florida.
We give up like a 3rd rounder next year and Darnold for I don't know, something like that, and the 23rd pick.
So the Packers draft a corner there at 29, which tells me that we probably let Kevin King go.
Good decision.
In this world, we took Greg Newsome II, which I like.
It's interesting.
Christian Barmore goes to the Buccaneers. Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton would be good on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Mayfield, the offensive tackle, goes to the Jaguars. And we're back on the clock, 34. That's 3 picks within the top 30, essentially, which is crazy. So Mac Jones has still not been drafted. He will be drafted by this point in real life as well.
Yeah, probably.
But we have some interesting things here we're looking at. We've got Zaven Collins here. We've got Kadarius Toney. We've kind of gotten him a weapon now, so I think we should maybe stay away from receiver, especially with them paying Corey Davis in the offseason and drafting Denzel Mims last year. I don't know what you think, but I definitely think we go defense with this pick.
And who else did they sign? They signed Keelan Cole. Also, who he's no superstar, but I think that's an underrated signing. I think they have gone. We can draft a receiver later. It's a deep receiver class. To me, I'm looking at the tackle class here. The Jets need somebody across from Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, they need something on the right side of their line, man. Their right guard and right tackle are not very good, so they're going to need to draft a guy here. So we have some guys here.
I'll tell you who I am eyeing right now. Dylan Radunes out of North Dakota State. I like him a lot. Obviously there was questions about level of competition, but he came to the Senior Bowl, looked really good there. So I don't know. To me, out of these tackles, he's my top pick. But I'd be okay with looking around and seeing who else is available because the Jets do need help in other spots as well, obviously on defense and even on the interior.
You know
O-line,
what,
so.
too, man? The other thing is that they're going to have him slide in and start day one,
Yeah.
pretty much. So he needs to be ready. And, as much as there is questions about the level of competition, I think that can sometimes be a little bit overplayed in like draft analysis. So I do think he would be a very good pick. But let's just look around at a few other positions, just out of curiosity, just to see the board here. So Asante Samuel Jr. is sitting there. Kelvin Joseph out of Kentucky. Aaron Robinson is there. That's for corners. Linebackers, we got Zaven Collins still there. Pete Werner out of Ohio State. Actually, I have him in our Madden league, so I have a little bit of a soft spot for him.
There you go.
Looking at edge, lots of good players here, pretty much, right? Because we're still in essentially the top 30. So
yeah, I like Jason
really
Elway a lot there. I would probably take him over the tackle just because there's other tackles that I like a lot, but Oweh is clearly the best edge on the board to me. I do like Ronnie Perkins as well, but yeah, I don't know. I like Jason Oweh a lot. He did not have a sack last year, which a lot of people don't like that, but as you know, I am not a big fan of using sacks to judge edge players because they're so random.
Yeah.
They're not
they're
really
so random. I mean, you look at some of the best seasons guys have had with high sack numbers, and a lot of it's just accidental half sacks, or like a better number to look at would be pressures per snap, things like
pass rush win rate, that kind of thing.
like all of those,
always really good there. So that's my leading pick right there.
Well, you know what? I'm down to do it. I think it addresses a need on their team. They got Carlos Dunlap in the offseason, I believe.
No, what's his name?
Carl Lawson.
That's Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson. Sorry, yeah, Carl Lawson. Both very similar in my mind, but
yeah, they did both. They were teammates on the Bengals at one point. So
yeah, they did get Carl Lawson in the offseason, but I do think that this would be a good pick here to just address just getting kind of like the not best player available, but one of the better players available, while also kind of getting a need.
Yeah. I'd be perfectly fine just pulling the trigger on him. If you want to look around some more as well, I'd be cool with that. But I think Jason Oweh is probably the best player available.
Yeah, let's pull the trigger. And as you can see, there are a few other. There goes Mac Jones to the Bengals.
Wow.
To the Bengals. What a horrible pick.
Backup QB.
Yeah, backup QB for the rest of that just doesn't make sense. Like, that's stupid. You have a high pick. Why not just get a weapon or a protector for your franchise quarterback? Like, Burrow didn't look bad in his first season.
Yeah, no, it's just the CPU. That'll never happen in real life. I mean, first of all, Mac Jones won't fall there, but even if he did, the Bengals certainly wouldn't take him. So just a little bit of a glitch in the system. It happens.
It definitely does happen. We can go back and look just at this round a little bit. There goes your boy Pat Freiermuth.
I do like him.
To the Rams. We got Elijah Moore, the receiver, going to the Colts. Little weapon for Carson Wentz there. Mm-hmm. Lots of tackles going off the board, man. There goes our boy that we were going to take to the Raiders. Zaven Collins goes to the Patriots. Asante Samuel. I'm really liking the Niners draft in this thing. Asante Samuel Jr., Justin Fields. They're making some good picks here. Your Giants get Kelvin Joseph, the corner.
Yeah.
All right. So that's, as you can see, just for the people watching the video, Kyle Trask goes to the Bears. When they're done using Andy Dalton, they've drafted their future.
They drafted Andy Dalton to replace Andy Dalton.
If we had we do actually have an Instagram, so I think that would be a hilarious quote to put on it. They drafted Andy Dalton to replace Andy Dalton like that. So we're picking at 66. So now this is like 30 picks after our last pick. I guess we didn't have a second round pick, well, other than a really early one, but we've kind of fallen pretty far here now in the draft. So I think we need to look tackle here. I don't know about you, but I think we
well, there's one guy. I was just gonna say there's one guy we know falls on here. As much as that we said last draft, we want to like avoid taking advantage of the crappy rankings as much as we can and try and make it realistic. I think this is a good balance to strike, because at the end of the day, Walker Little is an unpredictable prospect. As much as I would put him much higher on my own board, that's because I'm more willing to take on risk. But he is a risk because he just hasn't played in so long. We have no idea where he is physically, or like, has he developed? Is that time off going to make it, just hurt his development? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I just think, it's too much of a value here to take a shot on him. The Jets have some veteran options they can use if they need a stopgap.
Yeah.
If Walker Little doesn't work out, I would take him personally.
Oh, I completely agree. And we already gave our whole thoughts on Walker Little in our Jaguars 7-round mock. And Brady Christensen also wouldn't be a bad option here out of the school that we're drafting our quarterback from.
True.
That would be a nice little match. But I think Walker Little is just the better, just higher ceiling guy. I mean, if Walker Little works out in the NFL, you're looking at having Mekhi Becton across from Walker Little. And that's pretty good to defend from edge rushers in your division for the next 10 years, hopefully, if everything goes well. So let's bring Walker Little into the team here from Stanford and see how the board falls to us. So Kellen Mond, the QB from Texas A&M, goes to the Broncos. The Broncos love these really shitty mid-round guys. They just love them. They're never going to move off of it.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, at least that mid-round guy isn't their typical 7'6" tall guy that can't hit the broadside of a barn. So there's that. But yeah,
still, eventually they have to do something splash. Otherwise, they're never going to move out of quarterback hell.
Maybe Deshaun Watson. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll maybe see. Deshaun Watson.
Although that's a little bit of a precarious situation, but we won't talk about that.
No.
Let's.
Diami Brown, our boy from the last video, goes to the Bears.
Oh yeah, I love Diami Brown.
Yeah. Let's see some of the other. Richie Grant, the safety, goes there to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
My Madden linebacker Pete Werner goes to the football team.
There he is. Star.
We pick pretty soon after our last pick there, another 3rd-round pick. So we do have options here.
I'm looking at corner, I'm looking at wide receiver, and I'm looking at interior O-line. Those are my 3 positions of focus here.
All right, so let's look at corner first. So
okay, we have some interesting options here that I actually like quite a bit. I think this is probably, just looking at the board right now, quick glance, this is probably where I'm going because I see some names that I do really like.
Are you a fan of Shaun Wade out of Ohio State?
I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of him, but he definitely wouldn't be my top guy on the board here, personally. Obviously, the Ohio State DB factory speaks for itself. But personally, when I watch, I mean, he's a little bit older, first of all, and he wasn't really that good. He got cooked a lot in college. So it's I don't know, an older cornerback that, isn't really crazy athletically gifted, and he doesn't have great production. Doesn't really, not really great for me. Later in the draft, sure, in the 4th or 5th round, I could see it. But here in the 3rd round, there's some other guys that I like that I would probably take over him if we want to go back to the cornerback position. I do like Aleem McNeil there.
I was just going to say that. I just was looking while you were talking. Aleem McNeil is there as well.
The other thing is, though, the Jets already, that's probably their biggest position of strength. They obviously have Quinn Williams. They have John Franklin Myers. They have Fularunzu Fadukasi. They just signed, before we got on here, Sheldon Rankins. So they're not prioritizing interior defensive line.
So what is the corner then that you like on this board that's left?
Well, scroll down a little bit because there is a guy that I would definitely put as my top guy here, but I just want to see if obviously I like Tay Gowan a lot, but he's ranked in like 300 for some reason. So we don't want to take him in every mock draft.
Yeah.
But I personally would take Benjamin St-Juste here. He's also a little older. Obviously at a Minnesota there. He's also a little older, but he fits the prototype of what Robert Saleh is going to be looking for.
Yeah.
He's obviously huge, a lot like Richard Sherman.
6'3", 200. That's a massive corner.
Yeah, he's super long, which Robert Saleh is going to love, just like Richard Sherman prototype. He has an 80-inch wingspan, so he's going to be able to get in those passing lanes and make some pass breakups. He was really good in the one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl, which is another thing. I watched an interview with him on PFF's 2-for-1 Drafts podcast, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. It seems like he's a smart player, which again Robert Saleh is going to love. I like the fit here a lot with Benjamin St-Juste.
Well, let's do that rather than drafting Tay Gowan again. So this changes it up a little bit. So Benjamin St-Juste out of Minnesota comes to New York. And let's just quickly, unless we pick really, really soon, No, we don't. Okay, so we can quickly just look at the picks we have here. This addresses not only a lot of need on the team, but also a lot of just talent is coming to New York here. Zach
Mhm.
Wilson, Kyle Pitts, Jason Oweh, Walker Little, and Benjamin St. Juste. This is a great thing to walk away from going into the
Yeah.
first round of this draft.
I'm really happy with it. I mean, I would probably just, you could light all your picks on fire after the first two and you'd be fine with
Yeah.
that, coming away with that. But everything we've done after is also I really like. I'm at a point here where like wide receiver I would prioritize, but I'm fine with doubling up at any position. Like if we want to take another
Let's just
tackle,
look at the all category and just see like who the best players are left.
Ooh. Oh man, I know we just said we don't want to worry
There's
about.
Aleem McNeil still sitting there in
Yeah.
the fourth round. I know that's who you're looking at there.
I don't know. See, the thing is, what I'm going to do is let's not take him because I think he's a lot better than this. And also, we're probably going to take him in some other mock drafts. We don't want to, just make the same picks every time.
We don't want to be the Aleem
So,
McNeil channel that just
yeah,
drafts him really high every round.
I like Tyler Shelvin also.
Do you like Deontay Brown out of Alabama as just to put in that right guard spot there?
Yeah, I do like him. I think this is right around where he should be going. So it's not like a big steal or anything. I would look at the specific category of interior O-line or offensive tackle and see what else we have.
Well, here's the interior O-line category. We got Kendrick Green,
Yeah.
David Moore, Trey
So
Hill.
Deontay Brown is the best
Yeah.
player here. I think you
If
could
we
make an argument.
If we go interior O-line, I mean, we can also take a tackle. Brady Christensen
there's Brady Christensen.
BYU, right? So this could be a scenario where we kind of hedge our bets a little bit with Walker Little and Brady Christensen, and you can never go wrong drafting offensive tackle pros. Well, you can. You can't go very wrong, but you can never go wrong shooting the shot for it.
That's what I'm thinking. So to me, I would probably take Deontay Brown because they're pretty. I like Deontay Brown better as a prospect. But let's also look at wide receiver and see who's here.
Yeah, let's see who's left here.
Felton. That's an interesting prospect.
Yeah.
They have him listed as a wide receiver. He obviously played running back at UCLA.
I also saw Anthony Schwartz run in a video on Instagram, and it was unbelievable to see how
he's fast.
He was.
He's a fast guy. That's interesting. Who do the Jets have at running back right now? Nobody good, right?
No one good. No.
He would be an interesting prospect because, like I said, he played running back at UCLA, and he's obviously he looked really good at the Senior Bowl playing wide receiver. He's obviously going to play a little bit of both. Kind of like it reminds me a lot of Curtis Samuel coming out.
Maybe we would that the pick as a fun
I would take him.
Pick,
yeah.
And then we come back around and see if we can put up something on the O-line. So
because I think what the Jets are probably going to end up doing is, there's a lot of running backs left in free agency still. They could take one of those guys and then
there goes Deontay Brown. Sorry to the Broncos there.
Yeah.
Aleem McNeil a shame, but just went as well.
Felton is just such an electric prospect that, I just like that there. I think, LaFleur, who came from San Francisco, is going to be able to do some creative things with Demetric Felton. So I don't regret that pick at all. He can kind of be used in both roles. They might, like I said, sign a veteran RB and then draft one, like another rookie, and just kind of have this triple threat out of the backfield.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Brady Christensen got drafted by my team, actually.
Hey, look at
just
that.
A few picks before we selected. So I still think it wouldn't be a horrible idea to just look at interior offensive line here.
Me neither.
Is there any names that are sticking out to you here?
Let me see. Hold on. I'm just looking at the Jets roster right now. I want to see what they need.
I'll look around.
Obviously, they have a lot of need. I'm talking about on the all O-line specifically here. They have a lot of
right guard. I know that.
Needs, like, Connor McGovern they paid, Greg Van Roten they paid, but are those guys, really, and even Alex Lewis they paid, are those guys really the guys you want to be settling for there? I wouldn't want that.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would be willing to draft a guard here if we see somebody that we like, or a tackle for that matter. I'm good with looking at
because the nice thing with drafting tackles is, right, if they fail, you can always move them into a guard slot. So
yeah,
that just is a benefit to just drafting a tackle over a guard. But
I mean, none of these guys
are jumping off the board.
No. I mean, I like Tommy Kramer, but he's not that would still probably be a reach here at this point. What are we looking at here? Offensive
This is
tackle?
offensive tackle. So
So,
maybe
yeah.
Jalon Moore.
Yeah.
I'm just not sold on him, right? Like, let's just maybe look at the all category just to get an idea of who's moving around on the board here.
Wait, go back to the. I was looking at the Jets roster. Who else is there at OT? Dan Moore, Adrian Ely.
Nothing is jumping off the page to me here.
Yeah, nothing stands out. Like, I don't know. I kind of like Brendan James, but again, it's like probably a little bit of a reach. So
I just
yeah.
want to just quickly look at the all category just to see.
Oh, we could go with our running back here,
Yeah.
Trey Sermon. That would be an interesting pick. We could double up at receiver or corner.
Let's look at receiver, and then we'll look at corner. Anthony Schwartz is still here. Get a nice burner for the outside, but they just have so many weapons now, right? I mean, we have Kyle Pitts, Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, Denzel Mims. We drafted a receiver as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
I wouldn't mind with going. I'd go with corner, or I might go with Trey Sermon as well.
Tay Gowan is still there.
Yeah. We don't like you kind of said. We don't want to become the Tay Gowan channel if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like Caden Stearns, I guess, but like, and safety is kind of a need. They obviously franchise tag Marcus May, and they drafted Ashton Davis in the 3rd round last year. Yeah, nobody stands out there.
No, maybe on the end. But once again, this isn't a position that they really need, right? So I just think unless we go running back here, or maybe.
Yeah, I think what I would do is I'd just take the top of the board running back, Trey Sermon, and just make him our guy that, obviously I'm no running backs matter truther here, but like, I don't know, it's the 5th round. Trey Sermon is probably the best running back available, unless I know you like Chuba Howard as well.
I do like him, but Trey Sermon is just such a more, I don't know, refined product out of Ohio State. So let's take him. And,
I'm fine with that.
And we're in the 5th round here, and we actually pick very soon after. So only like 10 picks after, which is good. So let's just go back to the all category. The board didn't fall as nice to us in this one as it did in the Jaguars video.
No.
So what are we looking at here? We've got Bryce Thompson out of Tennessee still there as a corner. Anthony Schwartz is still there as a receiver, but we can't just draft them a whole new offense. I mean, they did invest in Corey Davis.
What else do we got at corner here? Kerry Vincent, Bryce Thompson.
Thomas Graham out of Oregon as well.
Can we look at safety for a second?
Yeah, for sure. Divine Diablo out of Virginia Tech is an interesting prospect.
I do like him. That's kind of like a high upside. He's another like huge. I don't really know if I like see the scheme fit, I guess. But that's an interesting option. Caden Stearns out of Texas. I love Justin Hillard out of Ohio State. He's a huge value here, in my opinion. The Jets don't really need a linebacker. Oh, they do, because like I don't think Jared Davis is very good, and CJ Mosley is obviously old and never plays. So I think I would take him.
Yeah, let's take him. Justin Hillard out of Ohio State. And we're, staying away from the guys we usually draft. There goes my guy, Chuba Hubbard, to the 49ers. The 49ers are running away with this draft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Might have to look at theirs afterwards and see what they got with their haul.
Yeah, what they surrounded Justin Fields with. Once they smartly moved on from Reed Blankenship goes there as well. The Packers draft someone for the interior defensive line. And, the Packers come back around and get Divine Diablo. I like that.
That's something.
All right, so now we're looking at the 6th round. So now we're just trying to fill out some value spots here. Anthony Schwartz is still here, which I'm so tempted by fast.
I mean, yeah, some teams
it's late in the draft
because the NFL loves speed as well. Some teams are going to take a shot on him probably a little bit earlier than this. So, that is what it is. Alaric Jackson. I'd probably go with Tommy Kramer here. This is right around where I would want to take him.
let's take him. Fill out in the interior offensive line. Out of Notre Dame as well. Comes out of a good system.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
tons of
Notre Dame always produces good O linemen. So
Anthony Schwartz just went there to the Texans. A weapon for Sam Darnold.
yeah, weapon for Tyrod Taylor or
Oh,
Ryan.
there goes Tay Gowan there.
Okay.
A pump take favorite to the Bears.
Well, the Bears need him after getting rid of Fuller. So
yeah, Fuller left them. Well, I guess they let him leave them.
And you know what's something we are going to have to talk about in a video soon is the Titans. Like,
yeah,
they lost a lot of talent this year. I think they could be a
did.
sneaky bad team this year, like a top 10 pick type team.
Yeah, no, we should talk. Let's do in the next few weeks. We're gonna have some cool stuff coming out for you guys. One of those things being a full mock draft 2.0. We already did 1.0, but we're gonna do 2.0 for you guys.
Yeah,
And,
I think probably when the dust settles on free agency would be a good time to do that. Okay, well, that was all our picks.
Yeah, they actually have less picks than I thought they had. So here are the user picks. Zach Wilson out of BYU. Kyle Pitts out of Florida at 23. Jason Away, the edge out of Penn State at 34. Walker Little at 66. Benjamin St. Just at 86. Felton at 107 out of UCLA. Trey Sermon. Wow.
Linebacker. Yeah, this is a great draft.
And then ending it off with an interior offensive line. I think we not only drafted positions of need, but got tons of value too here.
Yeah, I think that is it. Like Kyle Pitts falling to the Jets. Like you're basically LaFleur. Was it Mike LaFleur, Matt's brother?
Yeah, Mike.
That went over.
Yeah,
he's gonna have his George Kittle there. With Kyle Pitt. Like it's just a dream. If you're a Jets fan, I don't think you can really come away with much better. You get like when's the last time the Jets had one good edge, let alone two good edge players?
Yeah.
And then obviously you get your other bookend with Mekhi Becton. You get, a nice scheme fit corner. You get a playmaking wide receiver, running back type, like Curtis Samuel type, in the 5th round. Like just great value all around.
Yeah, and walking away with the quarterback of the future as well for the.
Oh yeah. What else can you say about that?
So another thing that I think we'll have coming soon, which will be a fun video, would be some guys that we think are steals of the draft. Because the draft is a month away from when this video comes out. So we're starting to get into that exciting time where teams are going to start to really, really be, hosting players for interviews, I guess virtually, and doing everything they can to meet these guys. And so it's pretty exciting stuff. But thank you very much for watching.
Before we go, I did want to say one more time, if you want us to do your team in this mock draft setting where we go through all 7 rounds, just let us know in the comments. We'll do it. We're going to try and get through all of them, but we likely won't have enough time to do that. So if you want us to prioritize your team, just let us know and we'll make that our next video.
Yeah, 100%, because we do get fans of the teams we do commenting. So if you want to see your team and talk with fans of your team, just let us know and we can prioritize that for as soon as we can. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's always fun to do this with you, and it's always just fun to get into draft season. Draft season is the best season.
For sure.
So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.